party fam. Surprise cheese. So today I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Let's start out with Drug Stories for Posers Volume 2. Find it today in your local records section. Posers Part 2. Anywho, I just figured it was kind of right timing, what have you. But right here and now, you, my ADD fam and friends, will be here with me while I smoke my last cigarette. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Last cigarette in the pack. And I've got my patches, and so this is way long overdue, but here we go. Last cigarette. It's stale too, because of my health problems. You know, I haven't been smoking as much, so this pack of cigarettes like a week old. So this thing's stale as all hell, but is what it is. So you're gonna be here right with me with my last cigarette, right here on the video. Before this is done, we will finish the cigarette and we'll put our patch on. And so we'll go from there. Posers Volume 2. Find it today on any of your media outlet channels. Find Posers today. They are such... I didn't get to finish this up with the video yesterday, so it was, I was long and far from done with these dealing with these nitwits, these drug stories for bird brains, and etc., etc., etc. So these people are trying to come at me and bring it on. You never last. Testing me, it ain't gonna happen, right? I'm not claiming to be a badass, but comparatively to these putsies I'm talking about, I could take the both of them at the same time, no problem. No problem. Do I have any fear at all from either of you? And you're pitiful, okay? So you're a better person. You never shot up. Good for you. Great. But don't pretend to be a junkie when you're not. When you did it just to start a channel. This is the most vile, disgusting shit I've ever heard, seen, witnessed. People that did some Roxy's for some time, they got up to doing some pills and done heroin once or twice, and they think it gives them the green light to go ahead and start a channel and try to fit in and act like they're amongst those of us guys that have really been through it. Like I said, it's a complete humiliation, a spit in the face. Chime in. How do you see it any other way? You've never shot dope, but you're going to sit here and bash this guy. But you claim that you were on the same level. You claim you were a junkie for many years. And I see right through you. And all of us do. And, just drop off. Try something different. I don't know. I don't care. But I was cool with you until here recently. And now, I can't stand y'all. I can't stand you. I mean, it's disgusting to, I come out here to, and threw all my baggage to the wind and told the world my, worst intimate details of my life's embarrassing shit. And then we got putzes like you guys that want to act in, throw shade at the people that are going through the shit. And you claim you were one. You claimed you were an addict. You were such a hardcore addict. I mean, the hypocrisy here is sickening. It really is. So chime in. There's people that don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Chime in and I'll fill you in on the details. Like I said, we got guys out here in the recovering community, and they're just a joke. They're clowns. Frauds wanting to fit in that they could start a channel and pretend to be someone and something that they're not. I mean, how How more disgusting can you get? I'm not proud of being a recovering addict. It's humiliating. It's taken a lot to tell the world my intimate details of my life and shit. And it's just to save and help people. And then we got putzes like these bird brains, these little bitches carry on and throw shade at people and are constantly talking shit every time my buddies put videos up. It's this shit's gonna stop. You're being called out. I'm giving you a chance to step back, because if not, I'm gonna dog you out. Next is coming your names and channels. Next time I hear or see from you bitches throwing shade at Ryan, you're all that. I'm coming out there. I'm throwing all that, and I don't care what you think. I will embarrass the fuck out of you. You ain't gonna. I mean, what are you gonna do to embarrass me? I've already told all my shit. There's no lies. I've not made not anything up. I haven't spruced anything up. But have you? Yeah, you spruce it up. Drug stories for for a 20-something-year-old, talking about drug stories. A drug addict uh, thinks he can hold title of like a recovering addict. You're not a recovering addict. You're a recovering bitch. All right, that's what it is. That's what it really is. So we're gonna let that be for now. That's um, another story for another time and place. Drug stories for guys that actually really ran and did drugs. So many years ago, this was at a time I was freshly married. Me and my wife had just gotten together, and as I discussed, there was a time period there that I owned my own business, but would go out on the weekends with this doctor and meet all his friends. And that's how I was getting my clientele, right? From this doctor, this 44-year-old doctor, and his 22-year-old new wife, second wife, right? They was all kind of weirdos into all kind of weird, crazy shit, right? So we would go out on the weekends with him. Well, they used to pop and do X, and every weekend, every single weekend, this doctor guy he was friends with all these guys all over the world, right? Every weekend a new guy would come in town. A buddy of his, I've given some examples. One guy was from Silicon Valley. Um, just to give you, an idea, um, successful men, rich men, he was by, and he would bring all these guys on the weekend, and a lot of them would be from out of town, and we would go to restaurants and bars, and I would meet a lot of the people that lived in town, and this is how I was getting work at the time, right? So during this time frame, I'm into ecstasy at this point. Okay, I haven't yet gotten to gotten the pills that bad yet, so I'm in my late 20s, and we're getting and doing rolls every weekend. Okay, so this became, as I discussed, this was a every weekend deal. Me going to get X, we go out in the clubs. This is what we do, party on the weekends. And so this one night, I got this friend Walt. Right, I'm 27. Walt's probably 50. I met him through my crazy ex girlfriend. Um, That's how I met Walt, through her. He was a friend, and he wound up going to prison. He was the guy from upstate New York that used to grow pot. Okay, we worked together at one time before this, but anyways, so Walt was like did road construction work, and he was in his 50s. He had long blonde hair. This big heavy set guy, right? I'm trying to give you a picture in your head. Walt was 6 foot tall, 250, flabby, not muscular, um, and he was a speed freak. And so he brought all his buddies down from New York, and we all lived in a house together. But one of these nights, Walt was a drug dealer, right? Walt was into all kind of stuff, and he run with some other guys that I know, another very large drug dealer. So Walt was friends with all these people. It's like I say, he's in his 50s, and all he's ever been is about slinging dope. And so one night so he's friends with a lot of people, as I'm trying to say, in the town, right? So one night Walt calls me up and he says, we're conversing back and forth about getting the roles, and he says, I got this guy Jody. He's got a bunch of rolls. He needs a ride to run around Susan's bar. So all I gotta do is go pick him up and take this jerk off to run around Susan. He'll give us some rolls, right? So we go, and me and my wife pick up this guy Jody, right? We don't know what to expect. No idea from A to Z what this is gonna be like, right? So we pick this guy up, me and my wife. He's dressed out like he's ready to go to a rave. He's got like neon light tubes and shit around his head, kind of like use them as like sunglasses. And he had a bunch of garbage on. He had like different, those necklaces, like the Mardi Gras beads and all that. We picked this guy up. This guy's got Mardi Gras beads on. It's nighttime. He's got on sunglasses. He's got on this lit up twirly shit, right? This guy's dressed to go to a rave, right? He's so loud looking, right? He's like fucking ridiculous, okay? So we pick this schmuck up. We take him to run around Sue's. We go, we're partying, we're dancing, all that. During the whole night, we've got our eye on this guy. We've given him a ride, and we're more than likely going to be giving him a ride home, right? So he pulls. We're hanging out all night and run around Sue's, and he pulls one of these. The Tony that he pulls a Tony from. What's it called? What's it called? Hooters. Remember that I told you the story when Tony pussed out at Hooters? This guy was pulling that shit, right? He was doing the shit like the guy was doing to Tony that night in the bar. And he's doing this shit, and he's doing this and doing all that, and he's dancing around people and me and my wife, right? Now imagine that, picture that. This guy's dressed loud to the gills, dancing all up on people, rolling balls. I mean, he looked like a fucking fruitcake, right? You feel what I'm saying? Like he was one of those guys. He was not blending in. He looked like a fucking jackass. So and at this time, that club that I'm talking about it's called Run Around Sue's. It's known for drugs, right? So it's like everyone that goes there is rolling and shit like that. Okay, everyone in the place, like 95% of the people in there are rolling. Everyone in there's doing drugs, right? That's what this club kind of, one of those kind of clubs. And a lot of people that I had gone to high school with would go. A lot of guys I was friends with would go. Me and my wife went with Shane, if you know Shane, and his wife, and their entourage. This was during that point, right? So we got a whole table of people. And here's this jackass that we brought, my buddy's Waltz. Had me come bring the dunce, the stooge of the place, right? And like I said, it's not that big of a place. So everybody in there, you're in a club. Everyone in there has seen each other 4 or 5 times during that night, right? So by the time the entire place had seen this dude, like no one was wanting to stand next to him and talk to him. You know what I'm saying? So here he is, doing all his raving shit up on me and my wife, and I'm rolling balls, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like trying to get away from him, and he's embarrassing the shit out of him. He's making a jackass of himself. So this goes on and goes on and goes on, right? So it's the same old song and dance. You can almost finish it for me, but you really can't. So the night goes on and on and on and on, and it finally ding dong. The clock strikes 12. It's time to go. Whatever it was, the bar closed like 2 or 3 or something. It had hit that time, and it was time to go. This guy came with an entire bag of ecstasy. Okay, he left that shit in my back seat. I had a handful of X pills about like this. Yes, this guy had thousands of dollars of pills that he left in my back seat. Do you think he got them back? Stick around for part 2. Stay D. Oh, wait. We're not done yet. Hold on. Got a cigarette. Help me out here, people. I'm weak. Help me out. We're doing though. We're quitting right here and now, my friends. And y'all know once you put this on, that's it. It's a done deal. Once I put this on, I'm done. The guy's name was Jody. Here we go, peoples. That's right. Is that right? I don't even know. I have to go and ask my wife. I'm pretty sure it said as long as it goes somewhere, right? Stay DD, guys. Thanks. Ha ha!